Welcome back to Some Little Nightmares 2. I'm Dear Darling, and join me as we try to escape this living nightmare one more time. And just a warning that some scenes could be disturbing for younger audiences, where last time we fought off a very monstrous looking Six, who knows, oh hello, what on earth has ended up happening to her. But she's very protective of this music box, which I don't really know why we're destroying, but my guess is that it's sort of a reason that the entire place is like this. Ah, I see. And this must be the next part of the boss fight. Right, so, how close can we get to you? Not that close. Right. Okay, well let's see where things teleport us to. I got it. I call you over here, you get mad, so we're gonna run over here. And then I'm gonna call you over here. Oh, you actually got me. I just noticed we leave a little silhouette down when we go, hey. I didn't think she was actually committed to going that way, so I wasn't actually sure. Hello, get through. I wasn't actually sure if it was working or not. But we go here, we go, hey. And then she'll chase us there, and then we go in for the swing while her back is turned. And assume we had to do this one more time to get our rule of three going on. But we keep waking up in this weird sort of empty, barren dimension. I wonder what this is meant to represent. I wonder what this is. You know, because Little Nightmares does have lore, as I understand it. You know, now, I might not always understand what the lore is in particular, and I'm sure people will probably illuminate it to me on the final episode or whatnot. But it's always nice to try and come up with your own theories as well. I'm not really sure. This sort of seems like a very big abstraction, like from a plausible reality. So I don't really know what to make of it. I'm going to assume you're not going to let me up again. Also, where's the axe? The world is crumbling. Are you going to let us take the axe? No. Okay. So we can't go up there safely. Probably we have to bait you over here, grab the axe. Okay, kind of failed that time. Bait you over here. Grab the axe. Get out. And then let's think. We're going to have to... We'll bait you over here. Then run over here so we can get to that side. We're going to bait you over here. Get stuck on a block. No! I got stuck on a wooden block or something. And I couldn't actually run up and swing my axe down on a music box. I feel kind of bad about destroying, you know, something you clearly love. 6. And I'm not really sure of our motivation of it entirely. But we're sort of just here for it, you know? This is a game in the end. It can't give us infinite endings and options. You didn't really get baited, I must say, over there, 6. I'm not gonna lie, you know. It would be a lot more helpful to me if you particularly followed the rules of engagement. And that is, you don't unnecessarily chase after me when you don't need to. So we bait you over here again. Okay, wait for you to reset. Let's turn around already. Leave our silhouette here. Our staticky silhouette. Get caught on the wall again. Oh, I didn't mean to press A. I meant to press Y. But I pressed A. Hopefully there's not another section after this. Because that would be quite a difficult one to get down, I think. It's lucky that 6 doesn't use her eyes to see where we are. If she did, it would be certainly a lot more inconvenient for us in the whole sort of hide-and-seek game we're sort of playing with her right now. I like how this is sort of playing around, like, we had that section in Hospital, which is playing around with like light and dark and sight, and now we're playing around with sound, aren't we? I don't know if it's not like we took away the sound from us in Hospital, so I guess that analogy doesn't really work. Oh, here we go. We must be at the end now. What is going on? I did see that, like, the walls were moving before, but I didn't actually notice they were, like, bits of flesh. I'm not really sure what that's meant to... Why? Are we living? Is the TV, like, a literal living, breathing, like, eldritch monster? I'm sorry, 6. This has to be done. Probably. Technically, I kind of don't really know if it has to be done. Wait, is this you, 6? Is this sort of, like, monster thing you? I don't really know. We are destroying it, though. And hopefully it sort of frees you from whatever curse. Is that you there? Sorry, I had to actually leant closer to my screen to try and look. 6, get up, we're getting out of here. Six? Hello? Are you okay? You remember us now? Come on, Six. Let's go. Okay. Weird flesh monster is collapsing down into us. Alright, let's go. I'm stuck. Six, you are very far ahead of us. How did you run this quickly? Okay, you are the wall of flesh from Terraria right now. Interesting. What a cool looking monster. Very Eldritch-esque, isn't it? You know, the wall of... Oh. I think we got. Maybe? the wall of creeping flesh and eyes. Very horrifying. Very cool, though, all the same. Sprint. Come on, Mono. Less haste, more speed. Oh, gosh. We can't make too many mistakes in this chase section, otherwise we sort of seem to get kind of left behind, don't we? I think we're losing ground as well. I actually think we might be dead. We barely made it. No, we didn't. I like how Six actually does react to us dying, even though we're going to respawn, like, immediately afterwards. She goes like, whoa, what happened to you? And she keeps on running, like she should. Why do we get stuck there for so long? It's like I'm doing this platforming wrong, but I don't know how to really do it much better. To be honest. It's not like Little Nightmares has, like, wave dashing or anything. Oh, you know what? I'm probably meant to take that down path rather than the top path. Let's not take the same path that Six is taking. Because we can't get there fast enough, but the down path, why do we get slowed down there so much? Oh no. We're way too slow this time, surely. But let's try that. It might give us a bit more time back. So instead of going that way, we're going to go this way. Go, go, go. You can't stop now. Some of his eyes aren't even looking at us, I'm going to be honest. It's like Titanic. Pull me up on the door. Please. Pull me up. Buttercup. Get through the door. Go, go, go. Alright, Six, save yourself. I'm not sure we're going to make it. There'll be a tragic end to our story. Oh, Six made it. Are we going to make it? No. I think we can make that jump. That doesn't seem too far away. How on earth is this standing here? Six. Thank you, Six. Hey, I'm just glad I'm glad we escaped this little nightmare together. Together? You get it? You gonna pull me up? What? Excuse me? Six? A betrayal most foul. But why? Maybe she really was a villain this entire time. That is a plot twist and a half. I don't really get it. Why did she do that? That's mean. Of all the times we helped you, Six, and saved you. Oh, you know what? Is it because of that scripted moment where we had to leave her behind in the rubble? I like to say that is unfair because I held her hand and pulled her out of the rubble, and then it gave me that cutscene anyway. So I like to think I got a secret ending where we both escaped together because I like my happy endings. Actually, I do like my sad endings too, to be honest. You know, and any of you who watch my Animal Crossing videos will certainly know that I tend to like my sad endings. My bittersweet endings a lot more than my happy endings. That's just like, I don't know. I guess it's because I spent so long trying to rescue Six in that thing in the first place. It feels like the fact that she just betrayed us there feels quite, like, random. But if you kept running, it probably would have made more sense. She was quite distrustful of us this entire time. I guess she sort of kept that distrustfulness. Also, this is weird. It's like sort of sea of flesh we're in. I wonder how it feels. Probably not great. Do you think it'd be sticky or slimy? That's my question. Also, what is this sort of like weird being weird? What's up here? Oh, hello. Hello, eye. Don't close your eye, don't close your eye. Alejandro. I'm going to call you Alejandro. Just because I was singing that song. My prediction is this is a sort of like a crazy, crazy sort of mimic. You know, it sort of mimics an entire dimension that it traps you in. And shapes sort of like reality around you. It's sort of like a brainworm. And it drives you insane, maybe? I don't really know what's going on. I don't know why we sat on this chair either. Well, I guess we're kind of stuck here. It's not like... We might as well make, you know, friends with a sort of eldritch flesh eye wall monster, which, you know, has trapped us here rather than trying to, you know, reject its influence. It's not like we got really much control over it. Oh, yeah. It must be some sort of brainworm. It traps you in like like a dungeon of your own design. You know what? I have a theory. That's what happened to Six when she got taken by Slenderman. He was also in the flesh dimension, and he needed to escape. But to escape, someone has to stay behind, right? So Slenderman got Six to stay behind. So then she became that horrible monster thing. Oh, we're growing old here. And then she betrayed us to leave us behind. So because someone has to stay and feed the flesh eye monster. His insatiable appetite. Wait, are we going to turn into Slenderman? It's a full cycle? Interesting. Does that ruin... No, I think my theory still can stand with that. Basically, someone always has to be trapped in a flesh eye monster at some time. So if Slenderman took Six and trapped her there, she became that monster. It's some sort of hyperbolic time chamber, you know, where time passes abnormally. And then when she finally got freed by us, our previous versions of ourselves, she left us there because someone else has to satiate the flesh eye monster. And then we become Slenderman, and then we try and free ourselves. And actually, we free ourselves. Oh, amazingly, our younger self frees both our older self and older Six. Interesting. Okay, I kind of like that interpretation. I don't know if that's genuine, the actual interpretation, or what the actual ending is meant to mean, but I like that interpretation. It feels as sort of like a sort of bittersweet. Oh, I don't know. It does sort of feel bittersweet in a sense, but it feels more like a forced betrayal rather than one of like a sacrifice, which is normally the flavour I like my bittersweetness in better than others. But you know, you got to try something new every once in a while. You know, variety is a slice of life, spice of life after all, not a slice of life. That interesting. Actually, genuine plot twist I didn't see coming. I did not see us becoming Slenderman, and I did not see Six betraying us at the end there. Interesting. I mean, Little Nightmares, as I say, I'm sorry, I feel like I take a really detached sort of like analytical viewpoint at the ending of this game, rather than sort of like getting really immersed in the story, being like, wow, I can't believe Six has betrayed us and that sort of thing. But I guess this is, you know, just the interpretation I end up taking. Because Little Nightmares is a sort of very environmentally based storytelling game. And, you know, my favourite part of Little Nightmares is not really the storytelling, I'm going to be honest. It's more the environmental design in the first place, and like the weird and crazy ideas that I've always come up with. But yeah, obviously, if you want like a more in-depth discussion about what my thoughts are for Little Nightmares, probably watch tomorrow's Animal Crossing episode, where I will probably go into it into more depth for like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, we'll see. Because that's normally what I do with all my games. Signal interruption. Achievement unlocked. Oh yeah, was that the tower? I'm not really sure if I have a satisfying ending to that tower. But the sort of, oh, let's get my mouse up here. The sort of like radio tower thing. Was that part of the monster? The monster was causing that radio tower thing, and was making people's face sort of like cave in on itself. I don't really know if I understand it per se, but again, I'm not here in Little Nightmares for necessarily a cohesive story. I'm more of like a suspended my disbelief to buy into the environment, the level, the design, and the weird and whimsical world that it creates. That's at least how I like to interface with Little Nightmares, but you might be different. And if there is actually a genuine interpretation, and you think I've missed things, or you have your own interpretation, do free to leave down in comments. I will eventually read it and be like, oh, that's cool. What was my favourite section of Little Nightmares 2? That's a good question. Oh, no, it's not. Alright, I mean, it is a good question, but it's very obvious answer what my favourite section is. My favourite section is absolutely that, the mannequin section of the hospital. That was incredible. It was a genuine, like, this is so creepy moment, you know. And obviously I have quite a detached sort of, like, sense of self from when playing these sort of horror games. I'm very sort of like, you know, oh, look at that, that's quite cool. But genuinely, I got like a little like shiver down my spine where I was like, whoa, this is actually genuinely quite creepy. That section, that's by far and away my favourite. What is my favourite of the enemies? So I guess we've got the huntsman, the teacher, the doctor, the surgeon, I'm going to call him the surgeon. We have ourselves, or Slenderman, and Six. I'm not really sure which I like best. I mean, obviously there's a bias to say the main characters, but I actually kind of like the teacher the best. I feel like there's an interesting sort of, because obviously this world, I'm not sure how to put this, and I think I might have put this in a comment somewhere, and I had this very nice discussion with one of the frequent commenters on this Let's Play, but the teacher has like a sort of like weirdly humane element to her. Like, obviously this world is completely implausible, no, this can't exist in real life, and you suspend your disbelief, but you know, but the teacher sort of ekes back into like plausible reality, not physically, no one can stretch her neck like that, but like the way she behaves and acts, she very much plays the role of a teacher, I suppose, and you see a very sort of humanizing element of her with like her like playing the piano. She's punishing students, she's teaching students, she's preparing lessons. It sort of gives like a really weird uneasy feeling, like a very sort of childish point of view of like twisted, demonic, nightmarish point of view of something you would dislike. For example, if you didn't like school, you had like a nightmare teacher, I wouldn't be surprised if that's sort of like a childish sort of like twist you would have in your mind, if that makes sense. It's sort of like it doesn't stray far enough away from reality and preys quite well on relatable experiences that a lot of people have had, and at least tropey relatable experiences, that it makes it feel, I'm not going to say more realistic, because that's not what I want to say, but it feels more like I had to suspend my disbelief a bit less for it, you know? Like, because The Huntsman is sort of, well, okay, I mean, The Huntsman's probably the most boring, I would say, but that's because we get, but they're the introductory sort of boss. We get, like, no information about them. We just see them, they want to hunt us, that's about it. Okay, fair enough. Surgeon, I don't know, Surgeon, I think the Surgeon was kind of cool mechanically, like, physically, like, the walking on the ceilings bit was kind of cool. We didn't really see much of a Surgeon otherwise, apart from them assembling the mannequins. I feel like that section, I guess that's another thing with benefit with teachers. We saw the teacher quite early on, and we saw her quite a bit throughout the entire thing, right? She was a persistent villain from near the start of the chapter to the end. Well, with Surgeon, we didn't really interact with until the latter half, because with a Surgeon, we had the disembodied hands, and then the mannequins, and then the Surgeon, right? And the Huntsman, the chapter was quite short. I guess, if anything, the Huntsman should feel like it's in sort of like a reasonable plausibility, but I don't know. I guess because it leans too much to the horror trope side of it, that it feels more disconnected than the teacher, which, you know, obviously you can have like a horror-based teacher. I'm sure there's like Nightmare, Murder in the Classroom is like a movie or something. What's that Japanese one? I haven't seen that movie, but the one about like the murders in the school or something. But yeah, it's more often than not seen as like a more horror element, I suppose. Teachers, they're just more seen as like villainous in a sense, if that makes sense. Like, especially in like kids or young adults or like movies, you can imagine like a Disney show, whatever, where the teacher's a villain, that sort of thing. I guess that's why, you know, that's sort of like tying with I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say, to be honest. Hopefully you kind of got what I'm saying, right? Of why I think the teacher's kind of the coolest. It's interesting though that the teacher didn't die, you know. Or is that the first boss which lived? Because I'm pretty sure, I can't even remember the first game very well. Daddy Long Arms, we chopped off his arms. He probably died. Actually, did the chefs live? The chefs might have lived. I can't really remember if we did anything with them. I also don't remember what the third boss was. Did it go immediately to the geisha? Who we did kill, by the way, at the end of her story. No, I think there was someone in between, but I don't remember what it was. It might have been the dinner guests. Is that right? I can't even remember. Also, what on earth was going on with his TV powers? Did he get the TV powers because he kept interacting with TVs and kept getting closer and closer to his future self, which sort of bestowed upon him the powers? I'm not really sure what's up with that. Oh yeah, if you haven't like figured out by now, this is not going to be more gameplay, unless there's a post-credit scene, which I might be. This is what I do in every credit scene. I just talk over like my thoughts and what I think about the game. I feel like there's obviously a lot of unanswered questions, but this is a type of game with environmental storytelling where you're meant to seek out the answers yourself or come up with your own conclusions, I suppose. You know, not everything is very directly spelled out to you. You're not going to find like an audio log on the ground where it's like the experiment started, etc., etc. I think a lot of it has to kind of be inferred, which, you know, could be more to your taste, more not to your taste. I'm not very much a person to go out exploring for these type of things, but I do like to, you know, learn about them, I suppose. I like the lore, but going through the busy work of actually finding it is a bit of a nuisance to me personally. But that's interesting. I'm trying to think what else to say about it. I mean, again, I don't know if I said this. Did I like it? Yes, I liked the game a lot. Did I love it? I love bits of it, you know. It's obviously not perfect. It is. I think I commented this actually before when I first started playing this game. Is Little Nightmares is a game where I love the atmosphere, I love the environment, I love the way it tells its story. I just dislike the mechanical part of it quite a lot. No, okay, not quite a lot. It's just it's more like the mechanical part of it does not, the clunkiness of the mechanicalness of it often takes away rather than adding to it. Although it feels right for the story, I suppose. Like it shouldn't feel like it shouldn't be like Celeste. You shouldn't be zipping around like Hollow Knight, etc., etc. Even though Hollow Knight has a very sort of similar dreary environment to it. It's meant to feel clunky, you know, to a certain degree, but often, you know, I'm not. It makes me feel quite clunky, I suppose, in it itself, which means sometimes it means I can't interface with as much as I like, and it sort of detracts, especially when I die multiple times in section, like in that mannequin section with the corridors of the arms, dying over and over and over again. So it just made me be like, I kind of want to get through this. Also, this music is very weird. Listen to it. Creepy, huh? But yeah, I did generally like it, you know, quite a lot. Because mechanics don't matter too much to me in a game, to be perfectly honest. And I'm very much, I mean, you've seen the sort of games I choose. Most of the time I'm quite story based, most of the time I'm quite like aesthetics based, and this game absolutely nails it. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the mechanics kind of leave stuff to be decided, in my opinion. But, you know, I'd imagine if you're a lot more sort of like adept at using them, or working with the mechanics, you're sort of like, yeah, okay, it's like not even an issue, which is fair enough, you know. That's the thing with everyone's opinions, is that everyone's going to have a different one when interfacing with the same thing, which I think is the beauty of it, isn't it not? That we can all have our different experiences and opinions, and we can share them with each other. We can see exactly what, you know, is similar to us, what's different between the opinions between us, and that all builds a more interesting picture. And you can get to see things from a different viewpoint, no? Of course, it's a bit one-sided right now because I don't get to see what other people thought of this game or their own opinions of it, I suppose, until after I publish it and that sort of thing. And you're just sort of sitting here listening to my own retelling of what I think of it. Esports manager? Pardon? What? This must be general company roles or that sort of thing. There's no way this game needed an esports scene, probably. I don't even know what an esports scene would be for this. I don't know if this has like an add-on. Like Little Nightmares had Secrets of Immortal, that's what it was called, right? I don't know if Little Nightmares 2 has this. At very least, I don't think I have it. So we're going to see. I mean, we're past 20 minutes now. We're going to keep this going because it's a finale episode, probably. But if this episode has split at this point, then it means there's probably enough content on the other side for me to actually split this into 2 episodes. But I generally don't like splitting it unless there's actually literal gameplay or whatever, because it might be interesting. There might be extras or whatever, like art books sort of things that we can look through. I don't know. I also don't know how long these credits are. I can't really pause to find out. Okay, no, we must be at the end now, or very close to the end. We're Bandai. Can we like speed through maybe? Okay, we can zoom through them a little bit faster, which is good. Not that I'm not appreciative of all these people who worked on it. It's more like, you know, time is money. No, it's not literally time is money. I'm not making money from this, but might as well sort of speed through a little bit, so then we can see if there's any sort of extras to talk about on that sort of thing. Oh, you might be curious actually what game is following on to this. It won't be horror based. I have chosen a game, I believe. Let me just have a quick look at my notepad. Yeah, this is the game I do intend to play afterwards. It's going to be not horror based in the slightest, as far as I know, and it's going to be much more in the puzzle aspect. Because you might be like, this game wasn't a puzzle game. Yeah, but it's in the puzzle time slot, and it's kind of puzzly, which is why I do it in the first place, which is why I took up that slot rather than being in the story slot, which I think I put in last time, to be honest. But let us see if there's like an art book or something. Credits. No, let's not go through the entire credits again. Chapter selection. Hats collected. Glitches remaining discovered. Wow, we didn't get much at all. We missed 2 hats there. Got 4 out of 6 though. Glitches. We missed quite a lot of these things everywhere, huh? These don't have names, they just have numbers. Interesting. Well, we're not going to go through the chapters again, obviously. We're not going to load game. We're not going to zoom game. I think that's it. Well, hopefully, I hope you enjoyed the sort of journey we had through Little Nightmares 2, and thank you for coming along with it as well. And well, I suppose we just sort of had to wait and see what the next one will be. So if you have been watching, thank you, and for the final time, thank you very much for spinning Little Nightmares 2. And I've been Dear Darling. Of course, any likes, comments, subscriptions, shares, greatly appreciated. Discuss things down below. I will respond to it. You can find my Discord server and my Twitter down below if you want to contact me. And I hope we can see each other again. But for now, and the final time, it's our farewell. So on to our next journey. Bye bye for now.